Ladies and gentlemen, oh, that's a bit loud. Sorry, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Digital Cast, William Zhang, and with me, Smash, Shouts, Ben Lehane, and our first time, well, my first time at least, maybe not yours, casting some CSGO tonight, and this is going to be the insanely awesome CSGO tournament. Open qualifiers by Rivalry and Order, day number 2, and we are covering the lower bracket of domilk versus In Paris, I believe. How you doing, Smash?
Yeah, doing pretty fantastic. It's a nice and warm day here in Melbourne, so it's fantastic day to be inside and casting some Counter-Strike Go. Did have the video underway actually, did you? Which was quite an interesting one. We're going to end up on a classic on Dust 2, I believe it is.
Oh, absolutely nothing wrong with that, probably. And thankfully, it is Dust 2. It's a minor changes, a map that we're all very, comfortable with and familiar with, to say the very least. But just
Mm.
before we go to that point, let's just have a look at the bracket real quick about how we've come to this stage. Because as you can see on the lovely bracket, we are currently in the lower bracket, bottom left side corner, Do Milk versus In Paris. And yesterday in day one, Do Milk they got knocked down, well, by Deadweight OCE, 16-11. So a reasonable scoreline. They gave up a good fight though, but this is going to be elimination right now. Double elim, but this is their last chance to go on forwards to who perhaps play LF representation.
Yeah, and that will be an exciting game. Of course, we have to go through this game to get there. Both teams getting knocked out. You'd say relatively or knocked down to the lower bracket relatively early in the first
Mm-hmm.
few rounds, but they've had a few games now under their belt, a few more officials. Not sure how recent the roster formations are for these teams. Some of them do look like they are quite new, pug teams type deal, which is always good because it means you get to play with new people, it means you get to experience new styles from in-game leaders and such, as well as get to see some of the upcoming talent in the server.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of server, it looks like our GoTV finally has been made, so we are going to be loading in now. Well, just as the game loads, we can have a quick chit chat about it as well. But, Smash, you've been in the scene a lot longer than I have. These two teams, know anything about them? Because I'll be honest here, none of these players stand out to me, but only the map does.
Well, that's actually the beautiful thing about CS at the moment in the country is that we had a massive scene in CS for such a long time, going back all the ANZ champs, all of the MGLs, all of the random tournaments that would pop up, and it kind of stayed the same kind of 30, 40 players mixing about at the top for so long, since pretty much since launch up until about last year or maybe a year
Mm.
before. But now it's all been shaken up. You can see that a lot of organizations stepped away from CS. There was lots of insecurity about what's going on, mainly because we couldn't export talent overseas because of COVID.
Yes.
And now we're getting some of those older players have stepped down. They've moved away to different esports or they've moved away from esports completely. And we've got the next gen coming in. So right now it's kind of like uh, after a big fire, the seeds start sprouting up, and these are the seeds that are starting to sprout up. So I don't have a lot of individual knowledge about a lot of the players on these rosters, but
Yes.
it's exciting because everyone is so new to tournament play and to high level tournament play as well that you're just looking for that new talent to come through.
For sure, absolutely. And just on my end as well, it looks like the GoTV actually finally loaded up. First time doing this, like I said. Full disclaimer, but the players aren't fully joined in yet. And in case you guys don't know, GoTV, there's already like a couple minute delay, and on top of a 3 minute delay on the stream. So guys, what we see is going to be slightly delayed, but the game has already started and happened. We're just waiting for everything to come in clutch. So without further ado, let's just load into the game and see just exactly what the players are doing for the time being. But yeah.
bringing in new sponsors, new tournament organizer as well that has a big passion for CS. So it's looking up. Everything is looking up for CS in 22 for Australia.
I certainly hope so. And you know what, Smash? I do have to apologize to you because for a second there, I forgot to add the audio source on top of the game scene. So I don't think the guys actually heard you go on this huge spiel about what's happened nowadays. So maybe if you just want to give everyone the brief rundown again, that'll be much appreciated.
Well, I mean, the TLDR is that CS in Australia for 22 is looking like pretty schmicko. It's probably the best esport without direct dev support. A lot of esports are propped up by their dev support. And the great support that they get from there props up the player base, etc. But CS is kind of a game of passion. It's kind of like you play CS because you love CS. You don't play CS because you want to earn squillions of dollars. But in 22 in Australia, there's going to be opportunities for tournaments. A lot of the big tournament organisers are looking at working and getting CS back towards glory days. Of course, a lot of the organisations that were in CS aren't even existing anymore. People like Legacy who had a long run in CS, Athletico who had a big run in CS, as well as King's Flash in the Pan, but they were in for a long time. Chiefs, they haven't had an organization for a while, so hopefully we'll see some of those organizations returning along with the bigger tournaments, and this one is probably the first and the most impressive one that I've heard of so far.
Oh, you sound a bit biased there, mate. It's like you almost know some of the people who worked on it.
Well, I mean, I know some of the people. Well, I know a lot of the people who work on so like ESI, NZ Champs. NZ Champs has great opportunities to go overseas and such, but this is a really cool, unique pop-up tournament, basically. And Rivalry have committed to doing some more support with stuff like local lands, I believe, as well, which is really the fundamental of CS. Local lands and any sort of land competition really is essential to Counter-Strike because this game sucks on.
Well, hey, look, there's one way to put it. Granted, I love the whole lecture that you gave us about this game. But hey, look, the good thing is, finally, the teams are ready and a competition doesn't have to devolve into absolute madness now. So, would you look at that? Starting on defense, defense, CC side, domilk, and the T side in Paris. It has been so long, but finally we're back into it. The players just finishing up the last bits of warm-up before we finally get in. So, Smash though, I want to hear from you. Predictions first off, because Dust 2 has changed slightly over the past, well, a long time with that new little angle over towards Suicide, and of course the B doors change. Who do you think will have a slight advantage at least going into this first half?
Oh, Dak's in mid, which is quite sad as well, actually. I don't know. The B side can still be a bit of a tricky one to pick off. Without knowing the teams and how they play really in depth, you kind of just say that all's fair in love and war. This is kind of a more of a 50-50 match. So we'll just come down to the teams and how they choose to play it. And if there is a big skill differential, if there's not, then we're in for a really tight game.
Well,
so one of the games went really deep actually into the 50 round mark almost. So
yeah.
It doesn't go that long because I do want to eat dinner at some stage, but
last night gotta feel really bad, you know, for those players. Well, not the players, they're people streaming it, going all the way into the late hours. But regardless, man, these guys are taking a sweet time. But I do believe just waiting on one player now to get ready. And one thing I realized, it looks like my crosshair is present across the board, which I think should be fine for clarity's sake. Eventually, that might be something I should be looking at changing.
Well, yeah, look, Dust 2 is looking at a 51% T side, 48.4% CP side on HDTV. So, yeah, it's about as tight as you can get.
Goodness, my goodness. I see that some things haven't changed, and I suppose it's the beauty of, you know, map balance, and especially given so much time as well. Oh dear. Oh my god, Smash, you see that? Game finally starting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, finally welcome to the belated start of domilk versus in Paris. Finally, lower bracket elimination. Let's get it going. Looks like the
knife round.
Oh, sorry, it's the knife round.
First called knife round.
Oh yeah.
Got it up mid.
Very different to Valorant. Ooh, first play goes down.
Early. Come on. We'll have to see it.
Oh dear.
Looks like it's a terrorist knife round. They're actually just dominating at the moment. Harbour is... He's up Crap Creek without a paddle, but he gets a right click in. Fierce.
Absolutely. But now they're getting ganged up on, and oh no, Jaketh gets destroyed. That's all down to the last player.
Ender just needs to isolate the 1v1s.
Yeah, that's true.
Get the clean right clicks in.
But no, they're coming as well. They're coming. Ender's in a rough, bloody spot. The moment he jumps down, it's basically suicide. And he's just getting baited. No one dares to push him. Like you said, it's doable, and they know it. That's one to start things off. Just needs 3 more to give his team a fighting chance.
He's swinging for the fences. I'm not sure what his knife's name is. I won't try it, but it does look like a little bit of a tiger tooth butterfly or something like that.
Oh look, they have every damn knife at this point. The only thing they're missing is a butter knife, but this is rough. 3 plays now, chasing down Ender, smelling his butt crack. Oh, it's Chinese. I see what you mean. I'll give it a crack at translating in a sec, but Ender, as you can see, he did lose the 9th round for his team. It was just a really rough spot for these CTs to be in to start things off the set at the very least. But domilk, let's see. Are they going to start? Oh, on the T side, and Paris chooses to play on defense to start things off. All right. You know, this could potentially hint at a stronger T side for them.
Yeah, well, getting as many T rounds on the board as you can. It's always pretty decent to play with. Don't think there's too much strategy to it. No massive advantage. Let's have a look at the buyers. 1 P250, 1 flash on the side of the terrorists, and looks like long is the way to play. Double stack on long for the counter terrorist as well, so they'll fall back to site straight away and set up some crossfires.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a 1 and done spot. He swings, and now they know exactly where he is. Not much value or kills, unfortunately. First place to go down on the site, and Yask, he's just stuck between a rock and a hard place, fighting for his life. It's a 1-for-1 trade for a time being, but the CTs are still down by a player. Things slow down a bit, but domilk, still 4 players committed, and even a run boost as well, I'm predicting. I think Kitsu saw something and gets clapped dead in the head. Oh my word. domilk, they came into this round with their absolute vengeance, and now they're picking off the CTs one by one.
Yeah, Noah with the kit as well, so don't know if they're going to try and save that into the next with the USPS. Well,
it seems like he's going to try send it though, but they know exactly where he is, and perhaps a drop down. Habaru trying his best, and he will land the final headshot. Really clean pistol round overall by domilk, and you saw that little micro strat up long as well.
Yeah, no, they sent it up long, managed to clear it out pretty quickly. Wasn't much resistance though from the side of in Paris. They didn't really get the crossfires or the timings they wanted at all. That long player, which was kind of the ace up their sleeve, got picked off straight away, unable to get anything done. So now we do have the 3 Galil, 2 Mac 10s, and already you see that Mac 10 crafty coming into its own, farming up some cash.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. At this point, you know, the CTs, I suppose, just trying a similar strat. The head over shoulders, trying to get a slight sneaky shot in. But so nade in Paris, trying his best. Nade out, deagle shots. Did land briefly, by point blank somehow, no way. Does get a kill into Crafty. It's a great start, but at the end of the day, B-side is under assault. Ender cleans house. But however, it's a fake. The T still committing over towards the A side, which have maintained full control. The CTs, they're going to have a tough round ahead of them.
Looks like they'll have a tough round ahead of them.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about damage here and what you can do. They only managed to take down Crafty's Mac 10, so it's not going to cost too much. Going in the next round with 3 Galils would be a pretty decent haul. Gets another Mac 10 kill as well, so that's more cash in the bank. And Ender has managed to isolate the last player as well. Noah's not going to be able to save this. However, actually commits the smoke to the fight as well.
I mean, at this point, like 4 out of 5 players, they've actually bought something. So,
yeah. And
they forced it as well. You saw the armor on quite a few of them. Really didn't pay off, so might as well just use that smoke. You could say it may have value coming into this round, but with one player being able to buy everyone else piss poor, not really much of a point now, is there?
Jake's got the hot spawn for the... doesn't go for the rush into dark. Had the Mac 10, had the rush spawn. Didn't choose to send it too quickly, and yeah, now it is going to be a second deagle buy for the counter-terrorists. They're going to get 3. They try and stack out long, and it's just doubled by bow.
Well, so far, so good. And the CT's similar story again.
Yeah, it is a bit of a trying to stack to find some sort of economical damage. It doesn't look like it's going to happen at all.
No. Look at being flawless at this point. No, wait, they kiss in the smoke and exchange positions. No way, you could say, but no. He does get taken down at the end of the day. Clean, fast, easy, plant down as well. Extra money for the T's to work with, and they're looking pretty flush, to say the very least. They don't really have to upgrade their guns, I reckon. They can just probably play with the Galils. They're deadly with it, and just keep doing what they do. But this time, in Paris, it's a full buy coming out their end.
Yeah, Bo's already up to 6. Full nade set now as well. Only one kit on the side of the CT, so Crafty's going to send it up real quick smart with that Mac 10 to try and get any sort of pressure long. But already, we've seen Semaine. Or Soma, I should say. Some of these names are quite difficult. Crafty gets picked off in long. It's Soma.
Oh, Soma in Paris. I get it. But hey, look, while we were talking, so far actually, domilk, they just off a really good start, despite having a slightly weaker buy with Galils. They picked up a player, and B-side is basically ripe for the taking. Smokes out, flashes. Duba has to do so much here. Oh, he does get one indeed. And he's just buying some more time for his teammates. Pop flash. Trying to get something done. His teammates have a run. Cavalry's here. He gets a second as well. Still fighting. Finally will burn down in the molly. And Kitsu is there to clean up. Wow, okay. Got a bit dicey there, I won't lie. But really all down to Suba. The fantastic hold and delay on site.
It was a fantastic hold there. Kept the nerve and had the nice peaks. Playing off flash time, playing off nades as well, and managed to find that player on the corner of the smoke. Soma had a fantastic position up mid as well, got really quickly up mid, didn't get seen or spotted, and then Ender, unfortunately for Soma, didn't, was there waiting, watching that short position. And now the CTs need to start getting a few rounds together to build that economy, because it's so expensive being a counter-terrorist. The bad guys get a good economy side. Ooh.
Tit for tat, early aggression down into bedroom probably didn't pay off there. And as we know, age-old game. Man down favors the side.
Certainly does. One player up in long is Yask. Will get flashed. Will turn. Not cleared. Gets two.
Wow.
Oh, it's big value from the spot bomb as well. So you can see the player from B now on the map will start to rotate through and clear out some of this lower dark, taking a more offensive position, and the CTs have it all to play with now.
Fantastic turnaround, and that nade, that's big damage. And the great start. Might have to be the player to really bail his teammate out there. But then again, his teammate's
how are they going to recover it? How are they going to recover the bomb, Digi?
Kill. You got to kill at this point. Ender, he's trying to split up with his teammate. As long as he can get the player over towards Cross, he might have a chance here. They just have the pinch player over towards Long, and Kitsu gets the kill. Ender looking the wrong way. And that one's a downhill slope going down that point in Paris. Okay, really clawing back at this game now.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed out of that round. Kept 3 rifles on as well, so they'll be able to work the economy pretty well. Yask is up to 5.5 grand, so he's looking pretty, and it's just going to be a pretty light buy from the side of domilk, because they don't have all the nades they really want. And some people not even going for some rifles.
Oh, that's brutal. Crafty, not the gun. Oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Takes down Soma in Paris. That's a fantastic start. Free gun upgrade as well.
Look, Soma's having it rough. He's one off the 007. He's gotten into a few gunfights, but unable to walk away with the chocolates so far. It seems like Soma is just sending it, trying to get information, trying to get an opening frag. It just hasn't gone their way so far.
Gun drop.
It's a rifle off that too, actually, so
Yeah, it's a good
it's
start.
over a freebie.
However, this quad stack go over towards short. The CTs, they might have to work on it for them. They read the smoker and Ender with the operator, with the orb, sorry. And Kitsu narrowly avoids death for the time being.
Kitsu's in a big piece of trouble here. One player up in long for the terrorists as well.
He's gone for it.
They've all of the room. Yeah, Kitsu. Just needs to stand strong, but can't do it. Now the A site's all the way of the terrorists, as there's no more people to cause any problems. There's a plant for short as well.
You know, domilk, they started this round with, I believe, 3 buys and 2 pistols, and they really managed to salvage it around. 3 gun upgrades and the bomb plant. At this point in Paris, I think maybe considering the save at this point, because this 2v4 is going to be unlikely. Although it's a great start, but Suba instantly gets traded out, and Ender ends the round. Nice, quick, and snappy. Okay.
Yeah, Soma not quite landing the first trade, well, not even landing the first kill, meant that a rifle got handed over because someone was in such an aggressive position, couldn't defend the rifle that went down. So one of those deagles was upgraded to an M4.
Yep.
It's quite a nice upgrade.
Oh,
And now it is just a deagle round for the side of the CTs as they crumble in the economy.
Oh, well, Kitsu no more. Yask is there, and look, it's so much. Push right through it, but Bo! Amazing flick. Triple for him as well. He doesn't even care. Avoids flashes. Doesn't even need to be afraid. Kills will flow in the way of domilk. This is going to be a cleanup round at this point, but a deagle is a deagle, and nice shots can be landed. Easier said than done, of course.
Bo is so nasty on the eco frags.
Absolutely. Oh, what? Sober, you can't be doing that through the smoke, and that's the bomb as well. Crafty didn't see that coming from a mile away.
Oh,
Highway robbery.
It happens.
It does. But God gave them a free one. I don't know if there's any more on the table. Smoke is lifted, and Suba dancing with the devil at this point. No way over towards short. Last player is standing. Ender ends him. domilk just on a real roll. And look, even in chat as well.
Very crafty. Yeah. All skill.
All skill. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, fantastic. And yeah, Bo picking up a 4-piece on the eco. Really knows how to get those stats padded up. But I suppose you got to close out eco rounds. You know, you actually got to get it done. Can't be leaving it.
Oh, that's a nice shot. No way. Ender been on a roll with the AWP in the past few, and No Way finally catches him dead in the noggin. Although Jaketh is trying to get retribution, but Soma catches him, and that's the bomb as well. 3 players, the T's, all up long. They've got control of the bomb. Maybe trying to go for a side control, but they still need to go further.
Finally it works, and that's the play though. Is finally it works for Soma, but it's like a round-winning play. It's such a big impact play to hit the Jets at the start of the round, get up somewhere, win the duel, and then all of a sudden the terrorists get to such a sticky spot, and Soma now has just got the top barrel and it's fine.
Oh. Flawless. Not losing a single player, barely losing much health as well. That was a half armor buy as well coming out from the CTs, and they made it work. That ballsy strat. Pushing straight up mid. Well done.
Yeah. Soma picks up 3 for the round, and that's just, yeah, 3-1 on the board.
Another try.
Let's do it again. Send it right up mid.
Yeah.
They have the double operator now as well. Oh, not operator, sorry.
Oh, that nade. Heavy damage. Bo losing half his health, and Yask takes his head off. Man advantage so early on in Paris. Great start. But they are still just trying to maybe aggress a little bit further. Yask gets pop flashed out. Maybe passing a ball that he could shoot, but still gets the kill. Man advantage still on the side of Imparis.
Another nade.
Close
quite land top mid, but yeah, this mid control. Haymaker for Haymaker. Double operator set up. Ender through the corner of the smoke gets his shoulder ripped off.
Crafty, he's not looking the right way, is he? Oh, and the shot was missed. Okay. But Harbor trying to help him out a little bit. Nice flick. Only a leg though. That's unfortunate. They still can't get a kill back. 2v4, and at this point, Imparis just playing so defensively, falling back, maintaining what control they have.
Yeah, pretty much just saying to domilk, you know, it's on you to make a play. Make something happen on the map. We'll just hold some angles and post up.
Post up, baby!
Yeah, Crafty's looking for some sort of space, some sort of timing through this smoke.
Ballsy! That pays off. 1 player on B now. That's all down to Suba. Fantastic start. Here's the footsteps. 20 seconds to go. Harbour needs to get this kill. Obviously, cannot get it. So one-sided. Suba had the elements of surprise and the positioning as well. In Paris, they struck back. Very close game, you know, as far as I'm concerned right now.
Yeah, swinging back and forth in the economy. Going the way of the CTs now, so they're going to be able to buy up, and domilk is going to be eating beans on the Deegs. Double operator set up once more, so this seems like something the CTs in Paris really want to get going. And whereabouts is Soma running now? Yeah, up short. That's actually quite a passive round from Soma. We'll try for the boost here.
Oh,
see lower dark.
The double up.
Gets the angle.
Marvelous. Oh, got to pad those stats, I guess. At this point, again, domilk on another eco, and in Paris, CTs in Paris. That actually sounds pretty nice. Rolls off the tongue. Looking to really equalize. for tat. No way, picks off Crafty one by one. They're falling. And Ballsy stack through mid. Now good for one kill. And Harbor trying his best. One bullet gets it onto No Way. Marvelously done, but wasn't gonna be alive for much longer. Hey, they made the most of what they had.
That is the worst feeling ever, being on the AWP. Missing your first shot, and then you're kind of stuck in no man's land. And Glock just plinking away at you.
Get glocked. Ugh.
Nobody wants to lose to Glocks.
Hang on. Flash just tossed on the ground. Harbor. Tossing him for his teammates as they get flashed into long, and the CTs just run the hell away. In Paris wants nothing to do with that. They've conceded long over to the T's for the time being. Bo just playing a lure over towards top mid.
Soma's got up dark this round as well. Straight up mid into dark. Hasn't been spotted, hasn't been...
Oh!
But the short people come out and Kitsu actually just tears his head off through the wall.
Jesus Christ.
Ferrari peak at its finest.
Can I say right now, in Paris, these little micro strats and the aggression on defense is really working in well against domilk. And especially this triple stack now. Yask starts things off, gets a second, and strikes back, double headshot, but how about his back wasn't defended? It's all down to Crafty. 36 HP. Bomb a little bit a ways. Nice jiggle pick initially, just trying to base out a shot. And No Way. Oh, tracking through the box. Wallbang to finish the job in Paris. This is rounds back to back now. They're starting to really claw their way back into the game.
Yeah, while the trades were actually really good for domilk, they were really good. That round, information that Soma got, getting up into dark that fast and not hearing anything, and then all of the action down long meant that they were able to set up that 3-stack onto the site and get the grenades working, the flashes out. That's kind of where the information comes through. And now Soma will get run down by Glocks.
It seems like domilk, they're making these pistol rounds really work for them. But that nade, oh my lordy. No way, that was fantastic. But unfortunately, quantity over quality. And just to say that, they start splitting up, Ender gets taken out, and the T's, they just bullying it over towards B, through the tunnels. And then CT's more than happy to give them the sights, eager to play retake. Wow.
Yep, Bo. Clean with the first.
Easy. Easy peasy.
Yeah, retake's pretty easy peasy from there. Yeah, the Apes to get the strong strat from the terrorists, just running it out with Glocks and Tech 9s, trying to find that double operator setup. Find the first operator in Soma, and then they even found the second operator as well up in mid. So they found the right targets, but the rifles just reigned supreme at the end of the day. They didn't really stick together, you mentioned that. They didn't stick together. After getting the first couple of picks, they kind of started to branch out a little bit, which is where things started to go a bit wrong.
Granted, I don't really think they had a smoke off CT, but the thing is, when you're on pistol round and you want to run it down that fast, you might as well just continue to pack and see what happens, you know? Because they've proven that even with Glocks, they can do a lot of damage, even at range. And on that round, they started things off so quickly. Granted though, that single frag, my god, basically put all of them within death's door.
Certainly a close game though. 7-5 now in Paris, taking the lead on the CT half. Economy looking great too, so they'll probably be able to buy out for the rest of the half. Or close to it. Yask playing in a one and done really. We'll get the one, but spacing isn't there to get done as Soma covers the line.
Oh dear. The CTs having won so many rounds back to back, their economy is so strong, and being able to buy not one AWP but two AWPs. It's making these longer angles really hard for domilk to really aggress into. And a similar story as in the past few. It's always been a similar trend, you know, of in Paris coming back into this game. They always get these initial opening picks due to the aggression, and they just whistle down domilk one by one. Crafty and Ender, top players, but really, my eyes on Ender with the operators. The AWP to make things work. Fast swing, great shot onto Soma, but has to do more for his team. Oh.
Crafty. Ooh.
Whoa! How's he not dead? Backup is there though. Crafty swings, bombers down, and all the CT starting to congregate over towards CT mid. Ender, so much to do here. Crossfire after crossfire after crossfire. I don't know, maybe at this point just try to go for a save. You know the economy is so good already for in Paris. And there's a flash, but they're missing shots, and what is going on? A no-scope to finish the job as well. It got a bit messy towards the end.
Bit of fun there. Last frag is also important to get, confidence-wise. No scope ends up doing it. USPS from Suba didn't... Oh, sorry, Kitsu wasn't quite accurate enough.
No, this is rough.
Just deciding what he wants to do. Yeah, it will be AK, 4 smokes. I think both are his smoke already out long, and they're going to try and hit B for once. They've been doing a lot of aggression towards mid to try and find Soma, but Suba... Oh, get out of there!
You're joking! He still skips alive with basically 3 plays staring him down. It seems like in Paris they're really starting to get a nice read or counter onto domilk at this point. Just that early aggression. And they're just splitting it up. Sometimes they go mid, sometimes they go A, sometimes they're just going to be like that round. And domilk, more often than not, they're not expecting it. But towards mid though.
Early pushes in the early rounds have kind of thrown them off guard a bit. They've been looking for that and tried to punish it. And they've been able to give up.
Oh, Soma. There you go. You were just talking about it as well in the early aggression. Gets flushed out though. Good start. Kitsu. They heard the tag. And here comes the calls. domilk stacking it over towards A. One play over towards long on lurk. And short being defended by Soma, the operator lord for his team right now.
It's going to be difficult though. There's going to be a lot of smokes and flashes now come in. Someone's going to be pushed off that car line. Might be isolated. Needs to hit a shot and hide. Still a lot of mid presence for the CTs. So this site, firing any miracles, should go the way of the T's pretty convincingly.
Oh, you say that.
The first shot.
Indeed. Oh. And Kitsu chimes in as well, just catching in the dead in the head. I mean, sight's been taken for short. Nice pop flash initially. Someone's blinded and gets destroyed. Kitsu, lone player, close to the A site. But have smoke. No one sees him there. Picks one, finds the second. Oh dear, it's all down to Jake. 1v3 to finish things off. He's in the smoke. Swing against so many CTs. Can't get it done, of course. And in Paris, they're on a roll. That's all I can say. Absolutely steamrolling.
Yeah, you saw the timings on the flashes. They just weren't perfect enough to blind the players coming in. They didn't execute it clean enough to get the site without losing those 2 players. And those 2 players were really pivotal because there was one player holding long in Jake. There was one player planting the bomb. And then the last one had to watch either 2 angles. Gambled on the 50-50 and lost, really. So, domilk now staring down the barrel of losing 10.5, and that's just not a space you want to be in. 9-6, recoverable, but 10-5 looks ugly.
And the aggression again. No way, he's not even afraid of dropping the orb. Goes with a swing. It was a man advantage. The trade back was fast though, but domilk starting, I think, to really turn up the speed a little bit, but I think it's just a little bit too late this late into the first half. And in Paris, short aggression again though, but they may not expect Crafty to be so close. Pop flash perhaps? Pop flash? Crafty, whoa. Sharp, the second, here's it, but Soma, retribution for his dead teammate. Oh, he's still there as well.
You better hit this and fall off. Oh, just the flash hits the shot, falls off, back into the loving arms of a teammate. Gets the apple, throws it short. Classic. See the feet, misses the shot. Ender doesn't get traded either.
Got distracted, I won't lie. Okay, so suddenly everything just turned to absolute crap, but no way. Might know that bow is very low. One headshot's all it takes. Eats the flash. And Bo just being patient. Okay, escapes to safety onto the B side. Can't get the spike down, bomb down at the very least. There's a smoke and mollies to play with.
Yeah, so it's been called that he's low. Timing doesn't favor Noah.
But he does have an AK now, and that's an issue. But
he's stuck on site.
Can't throw anything as well.
3 angles to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Will Bo pick the correct card?
No way, just using the pistol for the running accuracy somewhat. He knows he's low, and Bo, oh, the patience, it pays off. Gets the last round for domilk. 9-6, there you go, that's doable.
Very needed round, 9-6. The 3 card trick goes the way of Bo. Nets the 14th for the half as well. So Bo's kicked it off quite well. A lot of eco frags in there, but that's all right. We'll give him that. 9-6 means we've still got a ball game on our hands. 10-5 would have been a bit ugly, as I said. domilk now move over to the CT side. See what they can get done. The pistol round starts nice and fast. No pauses, no time here.
Oh, wow.
And checking out mid, but it is a dark rush, and Harbour has it all to do. The first clean.
Oh, catches the second Soma in the air. Harbor really putting the works down. But unfortunately, Ender bites off more than he can chew. Suba takes them down. And then Paris, okay, down a player. Kitsu playing Lurk over towards B. Uppers. And the CTs looking to really start things quickly now. Spike's not even down yet. 2-player drop, and they're getting these kills. They're getting the trains. They're swarming the sides. All down to Kitsu. 1v2 has a Glock and just cannot get it done. But seriously, though, that round, all props to, who was it? To Ender. Harbor, sorry, landing those first 2 sharp shots.
Yeah, the second shot was a bit rough. Rough as guts, you'd say. And that thing kicks like a mule as soon as it's on. You get 2 shots, really, with the USPS, and then it starts kicking like a mule. So to get that second one was pretty decent. Shout.
Made it work.
3 SMGs, 2 FAMAS, and there is a hero scout. Unfortunately, no jump scouting, but... Oh, into the fire and the flames for Soma. He's just sending it.
He really committed to that kill. He really committed. He could have gotten her, granted. But he
hits
panicked.
the shot, yeah, but...
That's with pressure. Jake, 1, 2, and no way, takes him down. Fast scout shot. But Bo's around the corner now. In Paris, just really struggling on these couple of rounds after losing the pistol, which is to be expected. Easy spray. Suba, only one place really that he could be in. They're not stressed at all. Getting surrounded. The sharks smell blood in the water. Suba fighting on for dear life. And yeah, predictably he was ended.
Playing Duck Hunt. Suba in the pit. Popping the head up, seeing when he gets bombed. Take a shot. Back down. It's always a fun situation to be in. Alrighty, we'll see another pretty rough buy from the terrorist side in Paris, as they did invest a little bit into the last round. They'll be going through with a few Galils, or a Galil, a Scout, and very light on nades. In fact, only 1 smoke to deal with. They had this first one, they put it up in the box in mid. Get some short and mid control early on in the round.
Oh, nice.
Shooting the incendiary over to his teammate.
Yeah. How little do they know it was for naught. It was a tease. Already so far up short. Bo, fantastic attempts. Brings down Yask to 25, but however, mid is under siege at this point. Except for attack. Crafty does get one before he falls. And now they're just swinging the CTs, really barreling down on In Paris. domilk. They're about to equalize right here and there. 1v3, but however, oh, Yask. Kind of a bit more, kind of wasn't aware that Ender was so far up and below him. And free gun upgrades, AKs being exchanged everywhere. domilk, that's a steal.
Yeah, the SMG Scout Crossfire, not really something you expect to have a lot of problems with, but it just comes down to the lack of grenades, unable to clear those corners in the hard to reach spots, so they're worth their weight in gold, really. Any weapon in that situation is quite handy.
Yo!
Already. And nade might be enough. Yeah, it is.
I don't care. Indeed. And oh, look at this aggression now. domilk really taking page out of In Paris' playbook. And now they know it's eco. This farm these kills. Ender for 3 already. Look at the sharp flicks. Finally, will meet his end. But Crafty, be careful, lad. You've seen quite a few players around to finish the job. Nicely done. And Ender, what an absolute hero. Pushing it up. Bringing the aggression over towards In Paris.
Yeah, Crafty there at the back, he's made up. Make sure that that rifle doesn't go the way of the terrorist hands, which is always good as well. Good fundamentals. Make sure you go with a buddy.
The buddy system, most of the time, never fails. But
well,
there are rare occasions.
Depends how competent your buddy is, really.
Never trust anyone, not even your buddy. Oof. They could shoot you. Fantastic nade again. Soma has to think twice about pushing.
Yeah. Soma pretty keen to hold W, which is an admirable trait in the young man.
In theory, on the T side, it should be where it works the most, but I think this round is really the decided. But so far, it seems like domilk on CT, their defense is pretty rock solid.
Seems like it. Some tags come through, so many of those super low as well.
Harbor, that's ballsy. Unorthodox.
This is the first time we actually see people with money, Digi. Oh, 1 HP. Dream.
Hey, yes! Escapes alive somehow! And deals shots back to Harbor, both within 1 of dying. Nice attempt. Blows being traded, no one to fall just yet. But domilk, I have a feeling they have the advantage. There you go, Bo starts it off nicely, Suba goes down. Yask, a liquid from dying, Soma not much better for himself either. Oh, though, Kitsu, basically about to clear A-side for himself. He's aware that Jake's around the corner, nice spray control, 2-piece, A-side's been taken. It's all about ferrying the bomb out, up short.
timing there. Soma could have had a third. Doesn't go their way. But yeah, no, they'll be able to get a short plant down. Grenades for the CT side are lacking, and this flank from Yask.
Oh. Ender's in a rough spot. Only the AWP. 1v2, 2 angles, he's pinched. Can't get anything done. Crafty though, great start, 19 HP. I mean, he does get the one-shot AK. That's a fantastic second onto Soma. And the last two players so far away. It's a smoke as well. He can honestly defuse it. They have no frags.
He's got the kit.
He has the kit. He's shooting. No, the smoke. It dissipates in the worst of times. He damn near had it. But regardless, double digits.
10 to 10. Bit tight.
We're back, or right back in it. What scoreline difference at the half? Nothing changed. Hang on now.
Crafty. Just the CT's doing some quick math there, working out where they can spread their money, and Endo ends up on a FAMASA. He's not happy about it, but he'll do it. Whoa, this is a fast peek from Kitsu.
Oh Jesus! So much damage done onto Harbor in retaliation.
Finds the timing to get in as well. Footsteps.
You're joking! Kitsu has been a hero right now for in Paris these past few rounds. Crafty does pick up the Aluric, but the bomb being ferried, taking the scenic route over towards B. Around the corner though, Kitsu looking for more. Kitsu, the reset as well, and Ender has to fall away. Yeah,
Kitsu doing a bit of damage there through the wall to Ender, but doesn't get the kiss of death. Ooh,
nice bounce.
Cheeky taps. It's the nade advantage coming through. Ender down to 6.
Beaumont, fantastic flash, gets the 2-piece, the 3 as well. He single-handedly sealed the deal for Paris at this point. domilk all down to Bo, sharp player, but I don't know if he can do this. And maybe there's Navi stickers in front of you on the screen, but 1v2, 2v1, sorry. Because Bo with the nade does take down one, but however, one has a scout, one is an AK. It's all about taking down Kitsu and avoiding the headshot potential. Bo moves through. Nice flick. Kitsu's gone. Just last player standing. KR backside. KR, the molly's burning him alive. But one shot the clock to finish the job. In Paris, they hang on by the threads of their teeth.
Oh yeah, the skin of their pearly white teeth, they hang on there. I thought Kitsu had opened up enough space to get into that round, but the nade actually coming out as well from Bo meant that turned a 3v2 or 3v1 into a 2v1, and then manages to hit the first shot. Clean, but not clean enough.
Still though, I think a beauty. It was a really good opener.
Got that. Just gets his head checked. His hearing checked early on in the round. Now has to go hide. Let the others take care of the round, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately now domilk, they've been in a very similar situation in the past. And, oh, Jake just had to jump there. The smoke was about to expire anyways. First player to go down with only USPs, you know. You can't really expect too much from them. But this B aggression, I like it. B uppers, the 2 of them though. Therma is aware of the possibility. Doesn't want to get traded out. Has the precious AK, the molly to do some early tick damage to finish the job. However, it is a trade. Ender, I mean, sorry, it's Bo. Last player standing now. Headshot angle. One shot to take down Yask, but the AK still reigns supreme. He gave it a good shot though. But in Paris, getting ever so much closer to that precious 15 and 16. And finally, a timeout.
Yep. domilk deciding, taking the first timeout, tactical timeout. On the CT side, with the economy being a bit rough as guts as it is, they need to take a moment, take stock on what they can afford to get. How many kits can they afford to get? Do they want to buy into an operator? Do they, not an operator, an AWP? So lots of decisions to make. Close game, and you can see in Paris across the scoreboard, they're all contributing pretty well. Top fragging at 17 and bottom fragging at 13 is a lovely sight to see. All contributing across it.
But domilk though, I mean they have some really pop-up players right now. Really, Bo, 20 frags on him, and they're not far behind. But Jake just a little bit quiet, still in the wheelchair, and there you go. There's the M4 A1S bite. Look, this looks to be it. Going balls deep. The investment. No AWP, I would like to say for the time being. Bo, glass cannon, maybe half Kevlar,
maybe. Well, we saw in Paris lean towards a double operator strat on their CT side, but so far domilk hasn't not touched the thing at all. But Bo will go 2 flashes, full armor, and an operator. So stand up time for Bo.
Here's the buy. Here is the buy. And this is a mad aggressive though. How about they see him and they get called and still gets one somehow. Okay. But how about man advantage? Oh, not man advantage, but the advantage still favors in Paris for the time being.
certainly does. It was some sort of hero play, really, to try and get that information quickly, but unfortunately, timing wasn't quite on his side. And the buddy system works out once again.
Yes. domilk, really only one player from car to defend, but however this mid flank can't come fast enough, just even to buy some time at distraction of sorts. But at this point, ooh, oh my god, okay. There's the AWP bite, full naught, can't even get a kill, head gets ripped off, and full retake. All three from short, it's not gonna be easy. They have 3 flashes though.
Bo playing a bit of a off angle, I guess you'd call that. Standing in the middle of the street.
Sometimes it works, I won't lie.
Yeah, catches you off guard sometimes.
Wait, but they're not swinging it together as a team. Here comes one flash. That nade is massive. That may have just sealed the round now. domilk, I don't know. They're still trying to send it in, but he's getting mown down one by one. Crafty, last player standing. No way to trade. In Paris, 13 easy. And even the free AWP upgrade for Soma.
Yeah, now domilk having to go down to good Sammys to try and find their weapons for this round. It's going to be rough as guts. Not a lot to write home about.
Yeah. 2
Ds, some P250s. And they're going to be playing up against a full grenade arsenal. Kitsu's already out quick.
Doesn't care. You heard a dink there as well. Kitsu for 2. Kitsu goes down. Oh, Harbor! Fantastic shot catching Soma. And that's all handed over. He has to be hero now for his team. Just as I say that, they lose a teammate. I'll let Jake upgrade onto AK as well. But really, it's all about Ender, closest player. Over towards the T's. It all comes down to whether or not Paris goes towards B or towards A.
I think Harbor's kind of hoping he can save this, to be honest. He's going to go hide in B side. Yeah, no.
Oh, it's doable. Super goes down. Just saying. Jake needs the shot, though. Oh, dear. I jinxed it, didn't I?
Oh, get out of there. Harbor's running. Wait. He's heading for the hills. And it's going to be a game of hunt.
Pulled off a heist there in half. Harbor, that single shot into the head of Soma. Free AWP. Oh, lightning strike as well. How much do those go for nowadays?
Oh, probably not a lot, let's be real. Although the skin is about like 8, 9 years old, or however long it's been out for. Ooh. One of the first ones, I think.
I regret selling my M4 Knight for like $400. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. CS skins often bring pain back, especially for the older gamers. You look at some of those. Oh, Harbor gets the... Okay, so he's been spotted. Now it's a case of Yask. Can he get his Nikes on quick enough?
Impossible.
Yeah, he's not getting there. Yeah, no. Do you see the Glocks or the stock AKs with hollow stickers on it? You know, the iBuy Power hollows or the Titan hollows, and then you say, ooh.
Regress, man. Regress.
Real upset about that. Yeah.
Regardless, the other thing that domilk are regretting, perhaps not putting more back on is their CT side. Because right now, in Paris, is starting to adapt and protocol starting to fall in. Super though, first player to go down in the rough spot. All by again, or one. Tries to get the second, but the buddy system again, the insta trade. Granted, in Paris, they are a man down, but I think they should be okay.
Yeah, decent fundamentals of being able to trade each other out. You'll get your places, that's for sure. Don't need to do all the fancy stuff, just need the basics down, really. And from there can expand on your repertoire.
Oh, Crafty. You know, there's a world in which if Crafty manages to get that shot, bomb down, that's a ticket for domilk back into this. Big if, though. Big if.
Nobody in real position to flash Crafty out as well, so he'd have to do off his own fruition. He has pushed out after hearing the audio to go down to short, and Bo is on here.
Not fragging for his team.
This is a Bo moment.
Can do it. And the auto director brings us over towards the B side. Funny enough.
Harbor, yeah, he'll bring you back.
Oh, Jake, that's a fantastic nade. Early damage as well. And the smoke. So that's so many smokes. What the hell's going on? Regardless, Bo. All right, having to hold it off now. Misses the first shot, and his head is at risk. A burn. Yask is gone, but Soma gets the frag back. Bo just trying to buy time at this point. Crafty, the flank is paying off at this point. It's all down to Soma. 1v3 being pinched from 3 angles at the same time. And there you go. I would like to say the flank from Crafty was the kicker to salvage the round at the end. 11 now for domilk. They're back in it.
Yeah, I think Bo will want that opportunity back. Had the opportunity to hit the clip, but unfortunately just buckled a little bit in the moment. That's all right.
A double shot.
Anything? Yeah, some aggression up short real quick spot.
Ooh.
Get some press into mid, and they'll find some aggression here as well. They'll actually find it. The timing with the nade
Beautiful
out.
molly. Bo's committing. Bo's committing. Oh, dear. He doesn't escape to safety. Ballsy attempt, you know. That attempt at make control, they tried, but unfortunately they lost it now. And the trade is not going their way. Jake tried his best. The FAMAS picking up 2. And where's the orb? Where's the orb trying to find it? Okay. Regains it at least in his hands. Man advantage, but Kitsu already so far up. And Jake may have no idea. The flash comes through. Jake's in a rough spot. May have to stay alive for the time being. He's still locking the angle down though. And then there's to join him. And they're so sharp at this angle. But over towards short. Yask pushes. And Crafty still paranoid that one might be play out towards bedroom. Jake makes the decision, no. Nice shot, takes on Yas, spike, bombs down as well. And Kitsu, 1-on-2. He can do this, but how about, here comes the buddy system.
But the barrels.
One, Kitsu! Oh, tried his best there. The reset, we saw it. Couldn't quite get the headshot. The AK did not come through, and the AWP still retained for the TTs.
Yeah, now things are starting to get a little bit interesting, swinging back and forth. As it did in the first half, it's now swinging back towards the favor of domilk. We'll get an eco out of the side of In Paris. And this is where they need to have a clean round. They can't afford to give up 3 or 4 rifles here. They need to get it done, keep a majority of the players up, just to start building that bank. As you can see, the nades on them aren't too crash hard either. Crafty on a FAMAS.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, Harbour. Nice shot. Picks up Yask through the smoke. The nade as well. Doesn't do much damage though. Oh, okay. All right. Sure.
Bit of a failed smoke there, but that's all right. Happens to the best of us.
I think it's cloudy tonight, but at this point, oh, Harbour just starting to mow them down. Put on the P250 as well, and it's a clean house.
And that's the round they really needed, Digi. Like, oof.
Yeah. Although, Ben, you know, this game is something else, isn't it? You see one team take a strong lead, and the other team, they dig deep and then bring it back. This is elimination, by the way.
Game. Yeah, it is. It is the lower bracket. It's elimination. Up on 14 in Paris have kind of stalled out a bit now for 3 or 4 rounds. They've got met by aggression again and actually answer emphatically as Kitsu holds the line and holds on.
I know about that one, Chief. domilk, every single time they've tried that aggression on the CC side, it hasn't really paid off. And that round, I mean, they brought Kitsu down to 24, but just can't finish the job. And now they've lost a defender. Oh dear. This close towards 15 as well.
And they've slowed it right down on the side of domilk, and they're looking for any sort... Oh, sorry, I'm in Paris. They're looking for any sort of aggression. You can see player even peeked up on dark, waiting for any sort of information play to be done here. Soma's going to find some information.
Oh, you're joking.
And a second freebie.
Soma's a beast at this point. He just finds these impact frags.
That's that key opening duel one. Ender goes down, and that means there needs to be some sort of play come out of the CT side to try and get back into the round, try and get some information. And Bo, yeah, Bo's going to be found on the timing. And this round has gone disgustingly wrong for the side of the CTs as Jake goes down. So all off the opening duel, the CTs feel pressure to try and take some land back, try and take some control. And from there, right place, right time, Soma manages to cash in. Gets himself up to 20 frags as well.
Yeah. No trades, surprisingly, as well, Ben. You know, they were playing together as a duo, and Soma just caught both of them almost unawares, looking the wrong way. And like you said, in Paris, it was the right call, the right protocol. After that early aggression, they slowed things right down, clearing all these angles systematically with util. And domilk, they just fell apart. They have very little to work with, like you mentioned in this week.
Spacing just wasn't quite there from the side of the CTs. They had to cover 2 angles, so that's why the trade wouldn't have come in instantly, but just the ability to trade quickly off it. And already Ender's caught out again. Kitsu gets the winning duel in mid.
Oh, he's trying his best. He's fighting for survival, but at this point, 3v5 in Paris. They've taken everything.
That's it. Planted for short. The retake needs to come in quick, and there's one set of nades, a flash and a smoke. Already the aggression from Suba will shut down the first player on short. And the second's gonna get caught too, surely. No, Harbour What's the
Oh,
duel and the second?
okay. Now, Softer for an AK, headshot potential on board. Crafty just has to
Oh!
pinch now. Harbor for 3. He's burning in the molly. Harbor for 4. He's doing it by himself. He's a hero of domilk. He's made it 1-on-1. And the auto director has crapped itself. No way. Cleans it up with a double. But by God, Harbor gave it a fantastic shot at the end.
Yeah, throwing caution to the wind, Harbor there, just sending it, trying to find the hero play, the freakish play that we needed to get them back into the game. But that was a cracker of a match. Back and forth, swinging, back and forth, and unlucky that the side of domilk didn't quite get it done, but good to see them in qualifier. Hopefully they stick together. Hopefully we see some of those names around in future qualifiers. I know there's a lot of tournaments coming up for Australian CS, so definitely stay tuned to them as well as get involved, because there's only one way to strengthen the scene back up to its its glory days, and that's to get involved.
Yep, and young players, much to learn, but overall though, in that game, it was a lot closer than what we expected, or what we expected initially after watching the first half. But domilk, my goodness, what a strong attempt. Unfortunately, they have been eliminated. Don't be fooled by the on-screen graphic. It's not the upper bracket. This is the lower bracket. And it does seem like in Paris, just stronger overall. I probably think they had the better protocols and the better idea, especially on both sides. Mainly on the CT side, though, the aggression really paid off, and it seemed that domilk, they weren't quite prepared to deal with it.
Well, yeah, at this level where we're going through these open qualifiers, we're getting into the later stage of the open qualifiers. It is going to come down to a lot of these games are going to be decided by the team that has the fundamentals down better, the trading, the spacing, the utility usage, the discipline of peeking off utility usage as well, like waiting for flashes to pop, waiting for smokes to bloom before they start going in. Just those tiny little things that, as a player, you don't always give the most respect when you are playing, but those tiny little things in a structured setup, they make so much difference. And in Paris, definitely had the better fundamentals down today. And then the aim, I mean, everyone on the server is so sharp that those type of things don't really come down into effect yet. It is about those fundamentals and setting yourself up for the best percentage plays that really gives you the advantage.
Absolutely. Seriously though, my MVP has to be Soma, just finding those impact frags when he needed it the most. But guys, regardless, this will be our best of one done for us right now. Taking a short breather before we go in for maybe a second game. We'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for watching. I'm Digital Cast, and of course with me, Ben Lehane, Smash Shouts. Maybe see you soon. Ladies and gents, little breather, and now we're back again for the insanely awesome CSGO tournament Open Qualifier's lower bracket round of 4 by Rivalry and Order. I'm Digital Cast, William Zhang with Ben Lehane, Smash Shouts, and now Ben, we are going to be following Imparis' journey as they climb through the lower bracket gauntlet.
Yep, and what a journey it's been. They got knocked down by Nebula in the first round, actually, of the bracket. So this is a rematch. The first time it went 16-12 the way of Nebula on Nuke. That was yesterday, I believe. So we'll have to see what Imparis have learned, and as well as if Mirage is their more comfortable map. Last time, Nebula actually banned out Mirage as well. So we'll have to see if that makes a big difference. So this time, different map, same teams, but it is a bit of a different setting. So hopefully we can see a little bit more. I mean, 12-16 is pretty close, but at the end of the day, it could have been a little bit closer. Still some rounds to play with that. We'll have to see what Imparis can do this time around. We saw last map, they were a little bit slow to start. I mean, even Soma started off at 0-6, but ended up coming back into the map pretty strongly, and they ended up taking it out in the end. So yeah, exciting times, DG.
Yeah, absolutely. Although Nebula, no bias whatsoever. This org, they've gone through Valorant. They've had a fantastic run through that scene. But in CS, I'll be honest, I haven't kept up too much with them in this game. But just the fact that I think in the first round or so, they managed to knock Imparis down on a map like Nuke, all the way into the lower bracket, only to be knocked down here themselves. I don't think it's a very promising outlook for Imparis, but they've had a game to warm up. But then again, so has Nebula, and they're on the receiving end of the stick, getting sent down here. So maybe it just comes down to who feels up to it right now in this lower bracket matchup. So Imparis, banger show on the previous on Dust 2 versus domilk, but however it did get a little bit too close for comfort. That's the problem. and I think Nebula might be of a higher caliber.
Yeah, I mean, Nebula went down to DGG in the upper bracket, 16 to 13 in their map, and that was on Inferno, and then so that was knocked down, and DGG went on to win the upper bracket in basically entirely. So it's not like they got knocked down by a bad team or they lost in an upset. They did get knocked down by someone whose DGG roster is actually tearing it up. So hope for Nebula. I'd say obviously they come into the favorites after winning the first matchup between these two teams, but I'll have to see anything can happen on a rematch.
Well, easier said than done, I'll be honest here. But look, the team's currently still having their little sweet time warming up in the game. Not too sure, how long this is going to take at this point, but I really do hope that at this time in Paris they can show up and really bring the fight over towards Nebula. But a different map though, Mirage is their choice, I'd like to assume, and definitely not Nuke, which seems to be one of what we call it, Nebula's stronger maps.
Yeah, no, that's true. Mirage, the most played map of the map pool. CT sided, marginally CT sided, I will say 52 to 47, so doesn't really come back to much there. Operators, sorry, Orbs. I want to keep saying that because they're too similar. They're pretty common on this map as well as big executes. Of course, so the knife round will go in now, and it will be onto the A site as common.
Hang on,
Zilla holding at the back.
It looks like there's two orbs on two of the players for a second there. The UI's bugged flat out.
Oh, K-Star on the flank!
Oh, that's huge. The double swing, and it's just a complete mow down. Nebula. They've just taken the knife round by storm, and Suba, he's given up.
Got the strats.
Damn. That was fast. Just being a little goblin hiding around the corner. Just jab them in the back. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
Yeah, well. Knife round. Not that impactful in the grand scheme of things. If both teams play on the same halves, so, but at the same time, it's quite nice to start off on a comfort. And also, if you can string some of those T rounds together, it does put the fear of God into the opponent, really. And I think that's what in Paris will be trying to do here. Well, obviously, they'll be trying to win every round, go 16-0, but getting some T rounds at the start would be a big confidence booster to them going down last time these two teams met. Put Nebula on notice, and already we see a boost going through, and it's looking like a mid to A play.
But this triangle setup right now onto the A side, Nebula might be good for something here. The instant drop from Anima, he's been exposed. Oh, that's a sharp tap. Instantly executes one of the T's. But however, they are fighting back. Anima's just a complete menace right now. Locking it out all by himself. This guy's a freak, and Kitsu has to do it all. 1v4, it's done for, and the flank already coming in from short as well. All Anima that round, all him.
Boy, yeah, Anima the animal drops off that palace high ground and sitting out dark. Can't get cleared because you can't go down there without getting shot in that triangle formation. It's the reason why it's the strongest shape, Digi. It's hard to break.
Actually, a cylinder is hard to break. That's why foundations and buildings are made with cylinders. Just saying.
So I've been lied to, have I?
Yeah, perhaps. Oh, that's a dunk and a half. They already have no armor to begin with. Now it's a complete free mode down. Zilla, 1, 2, 3, walk in the park. Easy peasy. Farm the money, money, money.
Shockwave's stolen that, so a bit of a dog act, but easy money comes through. 4 on the board for Zilla already. Crazy quick 2 rounds. I appreciate that when you're on the eco. Get it over and done with real quick. Don't try and lurk it out. Rush it up. See if you can get some sort of trade at least, but if you can't, then all of a sudden, you're done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
First gun round though, here we go. See if the bonus round effectively can be thwarted by In Paris. First chance for them to really get on the board. Anima's swapped out now, so only stacking that extra player over towards A for that pistol round, and now Anima will be playing up those B apartments.
A little bit of util used. Not much value, I'll be honest. At the same time, though,
timings, I guess.
In Paris, waiting so patiently. Here comes the execute. Smokes out over towards the A site.
This A site's going to look like Wiz Khalifa's birthday party, I reckon, in a minute. Here it is.
Molly's a bit ambitious, I won't lie, in the first one. Regardless, Bandit still good for one, gets the second as well. That's just escaping with murder. Soma frags back, but in Paris make the mistake. They already lost 2 players early on, and the U-turn was kind of flawed for a second. Zilla trying to do damage, and Paris Soma gets spotted. No way for the spot. Did they see it? No, it's a client-side smoke perhaps. But how much Soma trying to commit deep? Gets one, but here comes Anima, all down to No Way. With only a Galil of all guns, this is not the situation he wants to be in.
Plant is down, nade off the mark, so here's an opportunity, but no, the 2v1 pig is going to surely come in.
Didn't Anima shoot? Didn't he shoot?
Oh, I believe he did shoot. Probably got to call out some bad info from a teammate, I reckon. And stun him in there.
Oh, that's rough. Rough spot.
Happens. Trust no one, did you?
No, absolutely not.
In your mates.
You know, the day CSGO goes VR is going to be an absolute menace to play. You're swinging your guns around.
Well, there was some VR type games of like shooter games.
Onwards? Was it? Or was it something like that?
Yeah, it was something like that. But the technology isn't there, I'll say that. As well as, I mean, you know, it's...
Now that will be a marketable team. Everyone's fit, everyone's jacked, and full Nike sponsorships and everything going to be active. But in this round, though, it's another blind from in Paris. I like the double up initially, but oh dear, Kitsu goes down. His teammate just dropped in the worst of times. Nebula starting the first frag off nicely.
Good signs for Nebula is definitely. He's got the baby arm.
Tennis elbow.
Strongman arm, you know.
Yeah,
good signs for Nebula. They've opened up 3 rounds very, very quickly, so that always goes good for my dinner time, but not too great for in Paris. They're going to be blown out of the water in the first 3.
Especially once again, you know, they've been running this gauntlet ever since the start of tonight. Lower bracket, by the way, guys. Elimination! And Nebula, backed by Norg. They sure as hell don't want to get knocked out here.
Awesome
K-Star. No, the tag as well. It's marvelous. But Yask trying to frag back. It's difficult though. 4 players have rejoined them. And the CTs are going to have to fall back defensively for the time being. It's still a crossfire though. Bandits, he gets cleared. He gets checked. Soma, the man to make the difference. And it's all down to K-Star. Still good for 1. And taking down Soma. Arguably, that's an impact frag all on its own.
And no way, sorry. Wears a bullet through his body, through his mate. Oh, the timing of that flash. Should have had a freebie there, Yask. With a dodgy hand, it gets taken down.
This flank from Suba is going to happen?
The time.
No, he's screwed. 5 seconds as well. Suba has to do it all. And it was almost a USP that finished him off. Nebula, they just bid their time, played together as a 3-man. They just sealed the deal.
Yeah, they managed to dominate the A side enough and not really give any opportunity for that plant to go down. And by the time that all was said and done and there was terrorist forces on the A side, it was only 2 and can't really get the plant down and watch all the angles, and so they needed to find a jewel, but Nebula had the discipline not to give them the jewels and then managed to clean up the round. Yeah, it was safe to do so. Yeah, hot start. Zilla, Anima already off to 5 and 6 apiece.
Oh look, you know, Anima on that pistol round, that was an opening statement to say the very least. It's all about how in Paris responds. But this round being a pretty stiff eco from them. A deagle is a deagle. A deagle can one-shot to the head at basically any range, but Nebula, a bit of a burner.
Not looking like probably 1 smoke towards window for the side of in Paris, and then the rest will just 2 flashes from Soma. So it looks like it will be a fast play. A few more flashes brought up by No Way now, but curious to find out where they're going to go.
I mean, they're looking over towards the A site. Sometimes.
Well, that B side is it's a tough nut to crack. Kind of funneled into choke points. Unless you can get that full mid control and you can get some short pressure and some short presence, it's very difficult. We see Kitsu trying to send it pretty quick, but gets caught by the fire.
Oosh. Down to 43 now. Sissing there did not pay off at all, but Shockwave, this is a really aggressive mid push up. Super doesn't see this coming from a mile away. He goes down easy, just like that. Man advantage already falling into the favor of Nebula. And just like that, the discipline as well. Shockwave, he's not committing any further. Falls right back.
Yeah, Yaska's already popped some flashes as well. So Kitsu's got 1. No Way's got 1. It's not the most utility. And that mid control is so very, very important. Looks like in Paris going to be resigned to just trying to find something on A. Kitsu's just looking for any sort of opening. Oh, gets one into the shoulder through a box and K-Star.
K-Star. Oh, nice. Good. Yaska's gone now. Now the bomb plan is the best thing they can hope for. They're trying. A Shockwave still paranoid about mid. Last he's on site. Spike. The bomb does go down, but they're basically dead to rights at this point. No way. Trying his best. Juking bullets. Okay, does get one to K-Star. Not bad.
Pop that. Armor and kit taken off, basically. They'll manage to save the op. Yeah, the op. Sorry. Oh, I slipped again. I will keep slipping on that.
You'll get there. You'll get there, mate. No, but
well, it's hard. The old dogs don't learn new tricks very well.
That's true. I was going to say the mental disease for old people, but
oh, yeah.
It's a bit mean, I won't lie, at this point.
That grey matter upstairs ain't looking too fresh hot these days.
Yeah, especially with all the beers you hammer down on the weekly.
Oh.
Mr. Liver as well. Taking a pounding all the time.
Oh, Mr. Liver. Yep. Certainly does. Making up for 2 years worth of staying inside. So.
Oof. Okay, understandable. Well, there's the mid control you talked about for in Paris. A little bit of pressure over towards B apartments. Oh no, take it back.
Give some options.
The hair.
Man. K-Star hasn't.
No, you reckon? Oh wait, hang on, Bandit. And Zilla chimes in.
Yeah.
In Paris, just not having it right now. And the smoke, basically dead, perfect. Zilla preemptively places it. The flash was kept safely. No, he pushes! Zilla, what an absolute animal! Takes out Soma, who's flashed. This aggression from Nebula is just unwarranted. And for more as well, Yask for one. But Zilla again digs deep. And Suba, oh, nice tracking. But still, it's a 1v3. And the bomb, thankfully, it is safe.
Really don't give him time to set up and think, Nebula. They're pretty decent at retaking space. I mean, right there, you saw that the flashes come through mid, and Zilla has all of the room to work with, as well as banding in the first. But as soon as that mid smoke fades, they start to work in the retake of that mid ground with flashes, with some smokes of their own to play around. And if you're not ready to play those anti-flash positions, then a Ferrari peek out a window can catch you.
How could they be? How could they be, though? It's so unexpected. Who would ever do that? Using so much util.
In Paris is sitting there waiting to get an execute off, and
yeah,
all the nades are out in the hands.
He's running around. He's so paranoid.
Well, I mean, he's probably just going to try and save the operator. To be frank with you, 8
Mr.
seconds
Brain.
on the clock. Yeah, Mr. Brain ain't turned on today. Trying to. Nebula being very disciplined and not chasing around. You see, Bandit doesn't have a lot of cash money in his hands, but Shockwave, Anima, Zilla, they're all stacked up. That disappears real quick, smart on that CT side. Kits are expensive, even if it is just some wire cutters, looks like.
Yeah. But
400 clams for some
hang
wire
on,
cutters.
Shockwave, what the hell? What's the strat here? The P90?
He's misread the eco very poorly, I reckon. Probably expecting them to be on an eco, and there's going to be an AK sound off, and Shockwave's going to be, oh,
bugger.
He's running up the guts, though. He's gone straight up.
I guess that was the strat. Maybe he didn't read it.
I mean, on a retake, the P90 isn't going to be too crash hot, so if In Paris could get into the side here...
Hey, he's the human flashbang. All he has to do is draw attention to himself and just be the maniac.
He has hit the Kathy Freeman type sprint. Oh, and gone all the way up to the top of mid and cleared that as well.
That's a cheeky angle.
You can see all the information being handed off. They're going to walk into a firing squad here on this A side.
Well, the Wiz Khalifa wall of smokes better pay off at this point, and the Molly better not miss. Good for one. Bandits are locking it down. Great flash! Tip for tat trade. Soma goes down. K-Star with the AWP shot. Looking for more at this point. Preemptive shot into no way. And oh, dearie me, Nebula, they're shutting it down. There's the P90 you're hearing. It's the distraction after all. Zilla leaps onto Zuba to finish the job. Nebula, they won the intel game in Paris. They're getting dumpstered right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, the timing for In Paris and the execute timing, it's just not coming through at all. All the smokes goes up and they start to push through, but you saw in X-ray vision that just the hands above the eyes, the flashbang dances coming through. None of them were playing anti-flash, they're all just wearing white for the face. Now they're just going to speed it up on B, and this is the eco round they were expecting live.
Anima, the animal. 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy. I feel like I'm back in preschool just counting numbers you don't. No way. He does get a trade back, but Anima, again, just an absolute menace on these holds by himself.
Certainly find themselves in the right place at the right time. Does end up going down, but it's sitting
After
on
taking
about
on
12.
like 3-4, Jesus.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Suba and No Way are broke.
In Paris, look, these early picks, they're not really winning it. The map control doesn't favor them as well. Nebula, they have control at least thoughts out, and now Empire's trying aggression, but then again, just not paying off. These individual pushes, they just get mown down by Nebula with just the angles and crossfires.
Yeah, there's a bit of a desperation round, quick pushing, trying to get some mid pressure, bait them into thinking that it's all mid pressure and have one player up that apps real quick. But I mean, the first contact was the apps player basically. A shot through smoke from Suba opened it up, but the first real contact was that apps player.
And he was by himself as well, really.
So, just not working out. They managed to do clear out and turn it into a 2v3 situation, which is a lot better than what some of the other rounds are. 2 in mid, but you can see the white screens of death coming in. Good damn.
Look at the swings and the communications from Nebula. And that molly's perfect as well. So much damage done early on Shockwave. Good for one. He falls like Kitsu. 25 HP. Can't plant the bomb. A rough spot to be in. And Nebula, there's the discipline again. They regroup, looking to play this 2v1.
Right, Kitten, what do you got? Market play?
As much as I hate to say it, not a lot. This is gonna be stiff.
It's kind of rough, yeah. They'll call out now that Kitsu is very low, so
oh,
yeah. It's bit of a distraction.
Yes, they forced it out completely, and in Paris, 1 by 1. He's getting picked off at this point. Nebula 9-0.
Yeah, double operator setup, so the pace of the round was
Right.
an okay idea for the side of in Paris. They were going into a double operator setup, so you don't really want to be slow. Or setup. They don't want to be double peeking corners and
Yes.
all of that. Super will now take up the AWP.
I mean, so much sharp. Back to his roots, I suppose, onto rifle. They want him to entry, but the flash is a utility. Just mistimed again. Bandit for 1K. Star chimes in as well. Oh, Bandits. Just picking them up. Super, the AWP, what good is it going to be? Nebula, they're always there to trade. They're backing each other up. The comms are clear. And Soma back onto the AK. Nah, got on the glass cannon. This 15 HP. And the barrel gets spotted as well.
Barrel, yeah.
This is almost getting a little bit tough to watch. Nebula on double digits in the half. It's not even done just yet. The economy, let's check it out. Oh, ain't looking too crash hot for in Paris.
Boy, looking like that big purple bloke from McDonald's. It's a bit grimace.
What was his name again?
Oh, actually, Grimace. You know, yeah, Grimace is the big purple bloke.
Oh, mate, that was so long ago. I thought, like, he was the great burger thief. What?
Ooh, yeah. Oh, no, the burger thief is the hamburger.
Oh, that's right. Well, Nebula stealing kills away right now from Paris. So with the hero AK, really? These pistols just really not working out. Shockwave doesn't care. Gets 1 kill. Escapes to safety as well. Soma, fantastic swing. Unscathed for the time being. Heard the reload as well. Knows that Shockwave's close.
Soma's won a few duels. Followed a few duels up in that big
Shockwave's not even looking the right way. He goes down. Quick snap.
I'll tell you what.
But Kitsu has the bomb. He needs a miracle, and he will not be granted such a wish.
Well, he's just dropped the bomb in the middle of the straight. It's not really where you want to be putting it.
But, you know, Soma, he does have some odds. Oh, did he shoot? I think he shot. That's a position given up.
Zilla broke Van. So, I don't know.
That's an AK shot, though. That's the problem. Not that it really matters. Oh, God. That's fast. That's fast.
Yeah, rapid. No, Soma's won a few duels over on that B app side. Just turns out 2 or 3 of his teammates hit deck by the time he's done that. So not ideal. And 11-0, we could see. I'm going to throw it out there that it could be a 16-0 just because I want to jinx it.
My God, the first time these teams faced off, it was a closer score. Shockwave, I guess he was just confused by the flashbang. New flashbang buff, your movement gets reset. Soma spinning out the head or something of Zilla. Or maybe he's pre-fired the angle. Great start. Nebula, this is the weakest round they've had thus far, and Bandit catches nowhere. Laura can by himself, gets 2, and the numbers are equalized. Oh, Span, not like this.
Yeah, and here comes Anima too. And they're not getting here fast enough. There's still flashbangs here out, but they're not utilizing them Open sight lines for Bandit, and he's taken full advantage of it. Now we're down to a 1v3 situation.
Though Soma, he can isolate potentially, but the biggest problem, no flashes,
Ooh.
has to walk through the smoke first. Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
the timing though. He's walked out. He's walked out over towards Connector. He's towards a Bandit. Anima's around the corner, but Soma sharp for it. Gets the 2-piece, and all's down to 1v1. AK versus Orp, just needs the headshot. K-Star, aim it on the body. And Soma, he's pushing deeper. K-Star's around the corner. Slow clearing the angle. Soma's just holding it. Soma looks the wrong way. Looks the wrong way. Not like that. There were sparks of hope.
Yeah. Yeah, look.
Oh, the stars just don't align.
Soma's had a good showing, to be frank with you. He's been on the get right lurk for these rounds. He's found the frags, but they're just coming in inopportune times, really. So it's all for naught. You can look great with your nice KDs, but unfortunately the frags just aren't hitting on the right times to really impact the rounds. And the economy for the side of Nebula is well, completely fine. Right as rain, they can afford to lose 4 players in a round. K-Star's still sitting at 15-7.
Nice nade initially as well. Suba's molly does not. Oh, that's a heartbreak, honestly, for Paris. And now look at how spread apart they are on the map. No one's really playing the buddy system. They're looking for these individual swings, and somehow Suba is not dead.
Shooting through bricks reduces the damage there. So unfortunately,
oh! Anima getting caught off guard for once. But Yask goes on outside the map. Oh, K-Star, that's sharp. Soma in the air like a clay pigeon. Zilla, one-way smoke catches Zuba. In Paris, they're just not having anything now. No way. No way home. No way to clutch it at this point.
Well, no way, last player alive.
He's
tries to put a knife on the Zilla, who was fully flashed by a teammate, actually, so... That was an opportunity, but I mean, that's a telling sign, isn't it? In Paris, that they were so close when these two teams first met. 12-16, I believe the scoreline was, but now they're struggling to get themselves into winning situations. And when they do, it just crumbles, it falls apart. So, desperation now, and all of a sudden Yash is coming out quick with a fast shot, and that removes some of the YouTube, but Bandit's still holding the site strong.
Oh, dignity! Hang on now. Nebula, the flash is starting to affect him. Yes, that's sharp. Picks up 2. He opened the round, and he's about to seal a deal for his team now. But Anima, you know who he is. An Animal on his own right catches 1. The nade as well. No, he's dead to rights. Anima, bring it close, but Suba will finish the job. 1v1 though. Great attempt. But finally, in Paris, put themselves on the board.
Let's go. They're alive.
Signs of life. That's right.
They're going to be walking into double operator again, and the money ain't too crash hot. Oh, again, and the money ain't too crash hot, but...
That's right.
At least we got something going. Oh, hang on, there's a spare AK there.
Maybe as backup, or maybe they're too pissed to come right now, but Kitsu walked out by himself. Where was the bravado? The flashes, they're so mistimed. It's a good one from Heaven, but once again, he's funneling in one by one, and Nebula just regained control of the situation. What?
That's a half.
Ben, what happened? Like, they were on a piss poor eco of last round, and they performed wonderfully. This round with a proper buy. What?
Well, I mean, sometimes throwing caution to the wind and just, yeah, feeling it, I guess, is one way to put it. Can lead to those results, I guess, when you just kind of hold W and click the heads.
Third team won. What are you feeling?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not feeling great. Feeling a bit like me on a Sunday morning most times. Rough as guts and...
Oh, Mr. Liver. CPR.
Mr. Liver's copped it the last few weeks.
Well,
but you can see the really the pistol round actually comes in, and yeah, now they're thrashing hot, and Anima's looking for more pistol frags.
They're just leaping onto them though, but Anima, that's rough. He has no P2K now, and the Glock somehow just catches a player lacking. Anima, don't do this to me, mate. Okay, Zilla, he does go down. I was not expecting the aggression, I won't lie.
Yeah, CT side is favoured, remember? 52 to 47.5, so you know, not quite 14-1 on a half, but if in Paris can string some rounds together, maybe, you know, put the fear of God in the side of Nebula again.
52 and 47.5%. Where's the other half percent?
Well, it's 52.5 and 47.5.
Oh, right. Asian math, you know?
Yeah, well, you got to be exact, yeah.
Oh, Nebula. Quantity over quality, as I always like to say. I'm about to maybe handball it all the way into B. But no way. Also shoddy. I'm going to love to watch this.
Just on the scout again too, so just sharp on that on the round that they did win on the T side.
I don't think they scout one shots to the body, right? Regardless.
No, not at all.
Oh, here comes his descent. Here's descent. The auto shoddy. Oh, Zuma for one. And no way gets blinded by a flash. That's a disaster. And Zuma still trying to hold on for dear life with the Famous, maybe running out of ammo soon. And Zilla just dancing around, being a menace with his teammates shooting from behind. And this fantastic headshot from Shockwave. Bandit, what was that? Catching out Yask. And Kitsu just really stepping loudly, and a fantastic flash. Shockwave around the corner, does so much damage. A little bit of team fire as well, I like to think. Soma has the M4, and he's a really good place to get it done. They're lined up in the corner. It's a flash, they're both jumping at the same time. 1v3. So much to do here.
There's a smoke to play with. Anything else? No.
He goes out the window. He's
Yeah.
Oh! Doesn't even need to move.
And you can see just the utility usage really is the difference in the teams. You can look at the assists if you really want on the side of Nebula. They're all just contributing with assists, 4, 4, and 4, 2, 1. Like they're just getting so many flash kills off utility. And on the CT side, that was kind of the difference maker, right?
Yes.
Going into every fight with a massive advantage because of that. I mean, Soma's been sharp and has been finding those frags, but
hey, hang on now.
At the end of the day.
Team game though, but only if Fam is really the long-range gun on K-Star. In Paris, they could be able to get a third round on the board. Oh, as I say that though, Shockwave catches Kitsu out in the open with the auto shoddy. Anima, he can honestly do so much more damage with the smack 10. I believe in him. Eats the molly though. Still gets the headshot regardless. Zuba trades back. But now 2v3, it's much more doable. 2v2, the gap is tightening as we speak. Soma catches K-Star. Shockwave, M4 in hand. 1-on-2. Very little armor. No armor to hit as well for the CTs.
No bomb. So has to win the 2v1. Some flashes on No Way.
Oh,
go for a
I
boost
like
again.
that. But they are kind of isolated now. Soma basically has to commit to this position at this point. Intel gathered. Silence shots raining through the night. Molly to clear an angle, and Shockwave just pedal to metal a little bit. Catches No Way out jumping. Not like this.
No Way going for the jump peak and not elephant stomping around. Shockwave is going for it.
Right.
Yeah, put a fork in him. On your Soma. So that really has been the shining light for him, Paris.
Yes.
Soma's been able to find some cracks in the defense on the T side, and on the CT side find some nice frags too.
Reasonably stiff eco, but they're just handballing it in. 2 for Kitsu. Looking for more at this point, and the rest of the team of Nebula does join them on site. And the scout from Zuba, not really good for much, though. Gets a dink in the back. Kitsu jumping right in there. 4-piece, and he misses Bandit. He misses Bandit. Okay, no, he does get the ace. Nicely done by Kitsu. But just padding his stats at this point, they still have to make up for so much ground.
Certainly do, and yeah, that was ambitious, to say the least. The thing that's been winning them the rounds has been the utility usage, and when you take that out of the hands and you're sending them in with pistols, I mean, it's a big ask, and now we just see the P250s come out, a Glock and a Tech 9. So again, it should be open season for whichever in Paris member is lucky enough to greet them.
Crossfire of sorts. Anima, pretty clean movement, jumps all the way up, and now it's a complete mow down kill box. Everyone gets destroyed. Anima, though, has found that AWP for himself, and just gets a look the wrong way. Gets a second, not like this. Anima 1v4. Don't tell me this is the round you win it for your team. They're on eco for crying out loud. He picked up the AWP. And now look at in Paris. They're nervous. Bomber's down, but they're scared of an Anima. Okay, he looks the wrong way. No Way catches him. But by God, Ben, he made it close. He made it doable.
Operator not saved as well, so that is a very expensive round.
Yeah. How about they do buy back Zuba?
Yeah, they do. No Way stays on the SMG as well, but well, they need a double eco, so it makes sense. And they're going to make the scoreline a little bit more respectable. But if they can win...
What? What did Anima even see? What an absolute freak of nature this guy is. Yes, he does frag back, does a little bit of damage on the K-Star as well, but maybe biting on what he can shoot. Soma. Patience pays off. And if anything, it seems like Nebula now, they're starting to play more individual and disconnected.
But they are. A bit more caution to the wind, a bit more ill-disciplined, you'd have to say.
Oh, this is me. And ooh. Okay. Yask ends him, but Bandit though frags back. Even despite them being on the weaker buy for Nebula, they are still getting these frags and doing some damage. And it's just a really scary prospect for Paris. Now the economy is solid for Nebula. Here comes the utility you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous.
So, this is one of those rounds where, I mean, all things fair in love and war, both teams stocked up. But that utility usage from Nebula has just been insanely valuable. But this Kitsu nade could be a good start.
Oh, he doesn't get much out of it, to say the least. But regardless, he's going to pick up the slack. And what even happened? The Molly just burned someone to death. Also, nice lineup. Fast round by Paris. Okay, they're starting to chain things together a bit. But if anything, Nebula that round, they didn't really set up much at all. They just threw stuff in and just Hail Mary sprinted it through A main. And look what happened.
Yeah.
Where's the control that we saw earlier?
That was the thing. Like on the CT side, they were playing control. They were playing off timings and timing the nades to perfection. That round there, the first buy round that they've had in quite a while, they just choose to try and blunt force that round. But in Paris, they're not silly. They do have the same crossfires that set up, and they are playing disciplined. They're playing like they're still in the game, which is good because I mean, honestly, if you take advantage of a few mistakes or a little bit of sloppy action, you can get yourself back into it. It is a game where you can manipulate the economy.
You gotta take it slow.
Very easily.
Just focus on the round at hand. But that's not a good start.
Yeah, that's a big one to drop. And now you can see they're thinking about that utility and then almost gets the opportunity to get the second in the round as well. And that would have been a 3v5 situation.
Don't let this, be the round how Nebula closes it out. In Paris, they've put up a strong performance on the T side to come back into it. But one round is all it takes. One round is all it takes, and Soma, he frags back onto Bandit. The hero, the sharp man. But how about trades across the map? And Shockwave is sharp. Okay. 2v2 though. Zubas fights him back. Bomb planted by K-Star and is isolated right now. The CCs may not know this, but they have to go fast. Well, they should know it actually, because
they should know. And Soma might find Shockwave here as well, so that's going to turn it into a 2v1 situation. 2 kits on the board. 2 HEs are flashed.
He saw the fat thigh of K-Star. Spots him again. K-Star, can he do this though? Catches the dropout. Soma takes the bullets in K-Star's place. Both players low. One shot is all it takes. Sharp flick by Zuba. Seals the deal. In Paris, 8-15. They're coming back into it.
Step by step, little by little. That's the way you do it. One round at a time. Pop that, Soma.
They can't really be affording to lose anything right now.
No. She'll be right. Gotta show some affection, a little love tap.
But Ben, the problem is, in Paris, they are starting to mount a comeback and stringing rounds together. But the problem is, eventually, Nebula, their loss bonus is going to be so good, they'll be able to buy round after round. And that's a very tough prospect.
I'm saying in law enforcement, right? Like, criminals need to get lucky all the time, and the coppers only need to get lucky once.
True.
And it kind of rings true here is that, well, opposite way around. If the CTs need to get lucky all the time, and the Ts need to get lucky once. And that's
clean.
Not luck. That's good preparation for Soman to get that first.
I'll flash again.
Go on.
For more. Smokes it down. They're prepped for this. Ooh, did he see him? I don't think he did. Surely they spot him now, though.
Well, he's playing the manlet counter-terrorist, actually, so didn't see the head there.
Anima shut down. That's a big frag going the way of in Paris for the time being. And Zuma starting to come alive. So does Kitsu. Nebula, 1 by 1 on the T side. They're falling to bits. Where's the prep? Where's the control?
Zilla on the dry peak. Trying to open something up into that jungle area. Doesn't get it done.
Another one. Timing. He's sloping into this. And now K-Star. 1v4. Reloads. Barrel caught out in the open. The wall bang. Last spotted from Kitsu catches K-Star, but got a little bit dicey there. Otherwise, he would have been on the receiving end of a full clip of AK rounds. 9-15.
Definitely got a little bit nervous there as the bullets started ringing out, but nothing was happening. Oh, it's going to get swung on, but didn't eventually get... Well, when the swing came, luckily a spray bullet went straight to the dome. And yeah, this is an opportunity now to get double digits in rounds onto the in Paris side as It is a odds and sods pistol buy from Nebula, but this time they are going towards the B site. It's been largely left alone.
Except for this round.
It's a different approach too. It's not upper mid approach. It's pretty much straight apartments.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, you're not seeing much control being garnered by in Paris. Not that I really think it would change the end result at this point. But here comes the nades, here comes the footsteps. Nowhere's in blinded. One, he's catching them out now. A Qualifier set up as well. This is going to be so stiff. A triple. Everyone's here to join the party. And in Paris, they seal the deal. Nice and easy. Double digits. You called it. You said it. Nebula, they've got to be sweating now. Not a single timeout used as well this entire game.
Yeah, once they're able to clear out mid on Nebula, they can kind of get the idea that it is all going to come from the apartments. They hear the first shots ring out. It's pistols. Apes together strong tactics. Didn't quite work out there.
I just say though, for Nebula, 3 players collectively, they've got 60 frags between the 3 of them. Granted, this game is starting to drag on, but in Paris, it's really only Soma that has always been alive and putting up a fight. Yes, that's a bit ambitious for one, but now the CCs have lost a player. K-Star though is tagged.
It's not valuable information though, as they flash into Palace. That is a little bit more valuable information. Subar will find some timing here.
What?
The smoke grenade. It will find the shoulder of Zilla.
Hey, the kill's what matters. Tore his entire torso off.
Ooh, they have a player up pretty aggressively into that Palace area.
There's one player there though. Soma has to go large. He has to do it all for his team.
This is a really randy angle. Oh, you're so mad if you get killed by this.
One. Oh, Soma, the beast! Picks up a 2-piece. And Nebula, they're in dire straits at this point. Their economy is going to be, well, taking blow after blow. And Soma's a consistent thorn in the backside. Falls back now. 1v4. It's not going to happen. And there's the pause.
Hold it. And they'll run down the clock here on K-Star as well to use it as extra pause time, you'd think.
Now that K-Star's in this angle, it's almost a miracle how that they didn't see him initially.
Playing a player as well, so it's not really watching head height as K-Star rips Soma's head off.
Oh my god. Zuba missed the orb shot. The molly down, K-Star has to commit to the plant and gets flushed out. Nice play by Kitsu with U2 as well. Okay. Individually, you have to give props to these players of Nebula. Individually. They are something to behold. I sound biased saying that.
No, I mean, they've certainly got some sharp players, and that damage there is still valuable. This Soma's got 7, Kitsu's got 12, so they'll still be able to drop him, buy everything across pretty comfortably, but 15 to 11, I didn't think we'd end up here. I thought I'd be having an early dinner.
Same, pretty much. Still though.
I'm out now.
Props to Paris having the mentality to, you know, keep chugging.
Yeah, I mean, it looked, to be frank with you, in the last 2 rounds of their T-half, they were looking like they were cooked. But doing some questionable plays, some wouldn't say tilt plays, but maybe some inventive plays. But it looks like they've really got their bootstraps on, and they're tucking into this half. And they even dropped the second round after the pistol as well, so it hasn't even been clean.
But since then, though, they're starting to really rack things together. And the other thing is, their half ended 13-3. Look at it now. Nebula's only been able to get 2 rounds since the half, and in Paris, everything since.
Well, the half ended 14-1.
Did it? I cannot count. I cannot count for crap. 14-1. I take it back. Nebula in the shits.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, they're up against it, but all it does take is 1. And maybe after a time, a bit of a mental reset, deep breaths, all of that. And we can see that in Paris are now sending it pretty aggressively up mid to try and get that control, and they might end up getting some resistance there as well.
The craziest thing is that in Paris, a lot of these defensive rounds, they've always tried something different. There's always another position, another like idea in their playbook, and it's working out. Nebula, he's getting caught off guard, especially like in the previous round. So no one's played that deep inside Palace ever.
No, that is the first time they've really seen that and held that position as well. Normally they'd push or keep pushing through to try and find information. So it was good discipline there. But now Nebula are going back to their fundamentals, their basics. They are trying to just use the util to the advantage, isolate those jewels. And you can see on the map, the A site, there's not a lot of resistance there so far. They need to get a real on because... Well, it's actually...
Wow.
But Zilla's actually managed to find the frag. So now it's kind of, well... The timing is going to be key.
It's a fake, though. 1 kill and basically 3 rotations. It's all down to the player on the window.
Certainly is, and the Tom will find 2. Soma coming alive with another multi.
The absolute animal, the hero, I say it time again for in Paris. And what was that, a nade or something? Kitsu, how do you escape with that? Zillipson so sharp, and now they're shutting Nebula out completely. In Paris, it's a damn near flawless round.
Oh, they're feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Holy crap.
In Paris had no right to win that round. They got sold the dummy, but Soma stays strong. And Zilla, it's almost too good. It's almost too good getting that frag on Zilla. Because he gets that frag, but there's no noise. There's no other nades coming out. There's nothing else coming out. So in Paris aren't baited to heavily rotate through.
Yes. Oh, at the same time, though, they probably could have rotated and it wouldn't have changed the result that much because Soma's an absolute beast. The brick wall. Okay.
A big triple spray from Yask.
Nice. Marvelous. Soma, though, looking to clean house. Bandit, 1v3. Deagle is a Deagle. Headshots are headshots. But, oh, catches Soma. Outlacking just a bit. But then again, the AK is so much pressure to play up against. And there's 2 players there now, a crossfire of sorts. Yask, Molly to flush them, to flush the rats out. And Soma doesn't even care. He just leaps up there. He wants to kill. He wants to pad his stats. Man's about to 30 bomb.
They're bringing it back from the absolute brink of 14-1/2. You're not going to swing it around to overtime. It's not going to happen. There's no shot.
Yeah, well,
K-Star doesn't buy the operator. Oh, oops, sorry. I'm going to keep doing it. But an incredible turnaround from in Paris. Kitsu was dead to all rights there, Digi. That's the pivotal pick too.
This round's a bit different though. Soma looks to go a bit aggro. Blind shot is all it takes. They're staring at each other.
He's so deep, he probably won't get flashed if Shockwave's teammate tries to flash him in.
That's true. Okay, there's a back
up.
off. These are angles that have been checked. Meanwhile, over towards mid though. Nebula's quite deep. There's only 1 defender there. They're in. Kitsu's dead now. Soma has so much more to do here. It's a crossfire of sorts, but it's disconnected. Soma with the swing. Shockwave. Looking for something here. The timing.
Info.
Good flash. And Soma, Shockwave like anti-flash. It's like massive kill. He saw it coming. He felt it in his bones. Soma's dead now. In Paris, they're falling 1 by 1.
Oh, 1 HP! Oh, if he had size 13 feet, he'd be dead.
How do you know he doesn't, huh?
Oh, well, that's true.
Ball's that big?
Oh.
Okay, well.
3v3, but K-Star's already taken out Suba, which was the last bastion of hope on that A site.
They fell back initially, but the T's starting to re-aggress over towards A. Yaska, no way. The last 2 players standing were in Paris. This is it. They've come back from 1 round to 13. They just need 2 more. They're playing together. The buddy system. The nade is beautiful. It does so much damage initially. Zilla tapping away. You can't win against Zilla, mate. That's all down to no way. The hopes and dreams of in Paris and to get eliminated. Zilla to seal the deal. 13-16. Nebula. I'm not gonna lie. They kind of choked in the second half.
They got away with murder, Digi. There's no way they should have been that close. They gave up, what was it, 13 rounds or 12 rounds on the T side, but like a 14-1/2. It's almost impossible to come back from that. And you gotta put your hands together, really, for in Paris, because to have the resolve as an amateur team or a new team to come back from that type of half is pretty impressive stuff. And I mean, Soma was absolutely tearing it up.
Yeah.
We saw him again on the previous map as well, after coming back from a really rough start, starting to absolutely annihilate the server. So Soma's got some good mental, you'd have to say, to come back from a rough start on the first map as well as a rough start on the second map to really put his name up in lights from that
For sure.
series.
Absolutely, but then again, in the second half, I don't really think that in Paris they did anything too spectacular or special, aside from switching up these positions and playing odd, really ratty off angles that, let's be honest, Nebula, no one could have really seen it coming. It pays off, sure, but at the end of the day, they had some useful combos coming in real clutch there. But Nebula, if anything, I think they played a little bit worse on their T side. They were just throwing things in on a couple of those rounds. They went on that triple eco, and that's where they lost, a bulk of the rounds. And then they get a buy, they just ham-fist it into A one by one, and it's just, what's going on here? The CT side was so clean.
Yeah, it did feel like the CT side was, as you said, incredibly clean, and it looks like it was very practiced, very disciplined. It looked like the T side wasn't as sharp. Maybe they went in overconfident on that scoreline, just thinking, all right, we get 2 rounds, we win, walk away with the game, so that's fine. It turns out it was a big resistance from in Paris. There's good news and bad news for Nebula. I mean, the good news is they keep going forward. The bad news is that, I mean, that T side from there looked a little bit ill-disciplined, but hopefully it is something, and it was just ill-disciplined, and they do have those plans and strategies to execute.
Yes, for sure.
But their fundamentals on the CT side were absolutely brilliant. They were able to isolate players and take advantageous duels pretty much all of the rounds. And yeah, really good signs for them on the CT, but on the T, they definitely need a little bit of work unless they were just mucking around.
Maybe that might be the case. We'll never know. Only the God knows at this point, because by God, that was a close game. Guys, look, thank you for tuning in for Game 2, our last game for tonight. I'm Digital Cast, and of course with me, Ben Haynes, Smash Shouts. This has been the insanely awesome CSGO tournament, Open Qualifier, lower bracket round of 4. That one was hosted by Rivalry and Order. Everyone, see you maybe tomorrow. Have a great day.